Index finger and thumb together. We're coming into next week, the equinox. I can't believe that we're already here. Even day, even night. It's just an amazing experience. 2 times a year when the earth is exactly the same, north and south hemisphere. And I really feel that connection of the unity of the earth. And I think at this stage right now, more than ever, we really need to feel that connection, that unity, and really reach out to not only like-minded people, but sending out good energy all over the globe, all over the various countries, not only for COVID, not only for healing, but healing on many, many, many levels, and really seeing if we can move the needle towards something that is showing more justice and peace, more towards the way of looking at the world through the eyes of a kind heart. So index finger and thumb together in Chi Mudra as we come into this time. You can feel the energy beginning to shift. You can feel the way in which the light is changing. Good morning. And just let your breath move down into the belly. Close your eyes and really need to move into that inner landscape, finding our way into our own deeper breath. And that connection, being able to really move the energy down to a deeper place and longer breath. So inhale 4 long counts in, and then exhale, staying here for 4 long counts out. Just do that a number of times and you can begin to feel the energy around you shift. I'm much more aware of my senses, feeling the air. Letting my mind begin to drop into the energy and the rhythm of my body. Staying with the alignment of both the breath and your intention and our physical calmness. Now bring the breath into the belly, then let it rise all the way up to the lungs, and then from there all the way up to the base of the neck. And you're going to hold at the very top of the inhale. Create the pause. It's so important that we're not rushing. We rush everywhere, but here, let's just be. Hold at the very top of the inhale, and then, when you feel ready, exhale out from the throat, down into the lungs, and then again into the belly. When you drop into this deeper place, you begin to feel the connection that we have not only with the earth, but with each other. All the inhabitants of the earth. And then with your next exhale, allow your chin to come down to the chest as you breathe into the opening of the neck and the upper part of the back. And just notice if you have any tension. And just breathe your way into that space. Recognize the body's ability to change, to morph, to be aware of its surroundings. Then as you ease your mind, let your chin move a little closer to the chest. And then release your hands from your thighs and bring them to the floor on either side of the hips. And on the inhale, lift the arms and lift the gaze in the seated sun breath. Return the palms and exhale with your fingertips down and the chin to the chest. And then the palms roll upward again, arms and gaze all the way up. Turn the palms and exhale with your fingertips down and chin to the chest. 2 more times, palms roll all the way up. You can feel how the air and the energy might have changed around you with everything that is actually changing in our environment, moving towards the fall. And then hands move all the way up. Hands go to pray over your head and then down to the heart as you close your eyes for a moment. Set for yourself an intention for this class as we honor what feels that we need to pay attention to today, whatever feels right for you. And set that intention out into the world as we collectively bring our energies together to all the other people in the world doing yoga at this time or doing yoga during this day, each of us moving into this sacred zone. And to sharing that sacred zone, let's open up the eyes and release our hands. So I want you to just start with a gentle seated pose. Could be your favorite foot in front. Mine happens to be my right. And I just want to do a little teeny circle, just a teeny circle, with your chest moving all the way around. And then reverse the direction. Just begin to see where your body may be holding some energy. Good. Then coming all the way back to center with the right arm reaching up and stretching over to the side. Breathing into the side body. At the same time, begin to identify the right hip staying down. That's a bit of core work here. Belly brings the energy down towards your hips. And then release and come all the way back with the left arm reaching up and over. Breathing in, just feeling the way that your side body may want to open even a little more today. Release, come all the way back just one more time. Right arm reaches up and over. It's always good to repeat. And then release, come all the way down and left arm reaches up and over. Good, and then come all the way back. So we're going to come over our legs and come into the table pose. And from here, fingerprints down back of the palm knuckles. Do a few cat and cow, starting with the tailbone. Letting the tailbone go down, belly up, round the back, and breathe into the upper part of the back. And then moving the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, come into a cow. And this gaze up, belly down towards the earth, sits bones up towards the ceiling. And just move back and forth. Really begin to feel the lower part of the back open and move this morning. And just be gentle with yourself. So maybe it's a little cooler. Maybe your body isn't responding the way that it did in the summertime. And just feel your way through. It does want to move. So breathe your way into gentle stretches. Back and forth. Good. And a few more at your own pace. Cat and cow. Let the tailbone start the action. Good. And just one more time, come into a cow. Let's gaze up and buttocks up and hold this. Let the belly go down towards the earth. Breathe your way into the heart chakra, fourth chakra, with a nice deep breath. Open your fifth, open your voice as well. As we look up, just feel the stretch, and then come into a neutral pose. Belly up, straighten the spine, knees out, toes together, roll back, extended child. And let this be an active pose. So you'll see that my rib cage wants to go down. I'm going to bring my rib cage up slightly so that I can extend through the spine. And as I extend through the spine, I can bring my sits bones a little closer to my heels. Breathing in, it also connects me to the strength of my back. The minute I bring my rib cage down, I lose that strength, but bringing it up, belly in towards the lower part of the back, I can feel my back strengthen. I can push a little further into my hips. extended child. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Gonna lift the left arm up and thread it all the way through, coming all the way onto the floor in a bit of a twist here. Bring your right hand up so it's on your hips to begin with. Move the arm bone up into the ear and back. Bring it around so that it actually fingers fall on the top of the left thigh. So get a good stretch. Breathing in, making sure that your right head of the arm bone is open. It'll be a little twisty this morning. And then release that, bring the right hand onto the floor, come all the way back up, and the right arm is reaching and thread it all the way through. Taking a nice deep breath, the left arm is onto your hips, cross it over. So that's on the top of the right leg this time. And then I have to move my left head of the arm bone up and back just a little more. Create a deeper twist and an opening through the torso. Then release that, bring the left hand down, come all the way back to the table pose. Fingerprints down, back of the palm knuckles, curl the toes, hips to heel, and from here you're gonna press into the toes, press into your hands, going in opposite directions to come up into your first downward dog. And walk the dog one heel up and one heel down. Good, you're going to notice that your rib cage wants to go down to the ground. You want to bring the rib cage up, but keep the low back curve. So bring this up, the bottom part of the rib cage up, and keep the low back curve. Very important. Come forward into plank. Good, nice deep breath. Hug your ankles in towards one another. Arms, forearms into one another. Let your hips stay high, don't let them go down, dropping all the energy into your back. You're lifting up. Good, then bend into the elbows, come all the way onto the floor, toes onto the floor. Hands go out wider than your mat. Fingerprints down back of the palm knuckles in a spider bhujangasana. Head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, and you're going to slowly lift up. Breathing in. It's almost a call to the fourth chakra breath, right between your heart chakra. Breathing in, toes stretch behind you. Good, then move all the way back down with control. Slowly coming back onto the floor. Keeping your fingers right where they are. Reposition the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, and lift all the way back up with the same level of control and breath. Breathing in. So it's not about going fast. It's about connecting. Good. And then release and come all the way back down. Good. Stack your hands, one on top of the other. Forehead onto the floor. You're going to lift the right leg up and bring it down, and then the left. And bring it down. The right leg lifts again. And bring it down and left. You want to move from your hip joint, keeping your legs straight. And then come all the way back down. Bringing your hands right underneath the head of the arm bone. Inhale all the way back up to a table pose. And from here, right leg straight back behind you, toes to the earth. My leg always wants to go out. I gotta always bring it back down. That's just my autopilot. Nice deep breath with the left arm reaching. If you want to take this one step further, you're going to bend into the right knee, bring your left hand to the shoelace part of the foot, move the left head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, and create a quad stretch. Bringing the knee in, so don't let the knee go way out here. Knee in, press your foot back. And again, with that same openness through the heart chakra, breathe. A nice deep breath. Then release. Come all the way back, two-pointer, hands onto the floor, toes together, knees out, roll back extended child before we go to the other side. Taking a nice deep breath and really connecting into where you're feeling the stretch, bringing your breath to that place. Noticing if there's a restriction in the front of your body, whether you want to just do a little more to open it up. Make sure the head and the arm bone are free. And breathing in. I've always found this pose both relaxing and informative. So let your mind go to where you're feeling this energy right now. And then inhale, come all the way back up into the table pose. Left foot straight back behind you, right arm reaches up. Pointer. Nice deep breath. You can stay here or bend into the left knee, right hand comes over to the left shoelace side of the foot. Move the right head of the arm bone up and back. When you have that in alignment, then press your foot into your hand into the foot and breathe. And just notice how that opens your heart. Bring your knee in so it's not falling all the way out away. It's underneath your hip. Nice deep breath. Then release. Come all the way back to a full pointer. Hands onto the floor, knee back into the table pose. Curl the toes. Lift all the way up to downward facing dog. Fingerprints down back of the palm, knuckles down, right leg straight up. You're going to stack the hips one on top of another. Just notice that the left hip, left shoulder wants to collapse. You're going to keep the left shoulder up. Keep the twist right here. You're going to stack the hips one on top of the other. Bend into the knee. And make it so that you're like hugging a tree with your leg. Just continuing to open and deep breathe. Then straighten your hips. Bring your knee into your chest and step it through to a runner stretch. Taking the right hip back, top of the left thigh up, and breathe. A nice deep breath. Press into the back foot to allow you to come all the way up to a standing Virabhadrasana 1. With a nice deep breath, add the arms all the way up. And here, take the top of the thigh back, the left thigh back a little bit more. Just drop a little more to the right hip. See if you can make a little back bend out of this by lifting your gaze up. A little more challenging. And then release, come all the way back down. Both hands onto the floor, step back to downward facing dog. Fingerprints down back of the palm, knuckles down, left leg lifts. All on the other side. So here you can see my right shoulder wants to drip down. You want to lift that up. Resist the right shoulder drip. Stack the hips one on top of the other, then bend the knee. Like it's hugging a tree. We're going to have to really work this, lifting the right arm a little bit more, stretching a little bit more. It's never static. So breathe. Then straighten the hips, bring the knee into the chest, step it all the way through. Into a runner stretch. Find your balance. Then go straight spine. Just feel that first, and then press a little more into the right foot. Hand on top of the left knee. Take the right side back a little bit more. Begin to feel your energy right in between. Drop your left hip just a little more. Add the arms. Good, we're almost there. We're going to add a little back bend to this. Breathing in. So it's a deeper stretch into the quad, at least in my world. And then release, come all the way back to the floor. You're going to step your right foot up to meet the left. Head down towards the floor in Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Taking the top of the thighs. You can bend your knees, top of the thighs. We're going interested in opening the inner groins than anything else. Rib cage in, then fold. And breathe. Inhale, halfway up again. Ardha Uttanasana. Nice deep breath. Again, you can bend your knees generously and exhale and fold. Good. Then arms swing out to the side as we inhale all the way up. Hands go to prayer over your head and then down to the heart. Good. So let your hands go in front, hands towards the inside. Close your eyes for a moment. Just feel that energy. We're in a fall practice. So opening up may be a little different. It always teaches us something, the different seasons. I always find the fall practice is the shadow of the summer practice, but it's moving towards, I have to move a little more inward to get some of the same effects, same stretches. Good. And then open up your eyes. Just connect in to what that means to you. Don't let your legs go straight out. Feet are at a 45-degree angle. Hands onto your hips. I'm going to exhale and bend. You want to drop down. Resist this. I see this a lot. Stay upright. You can see my position with the art behind me. Just bend. And inhale up. And all of it is controlled by your feet. Your feet is allowing for the muscles to be working. So feel the four corners of the feet work. Exhale, bend. So not just snapping your knees. I want to get to the muscles. Muscles to bones. And then exhale, bend. Inhale up. I'm going to add the arms. Exhale, bend. Arms go out into the T position. Come back into goddess. And bend at the elbows. Nice deep breath, and then come to a 5-pointed star. And then exhale, bend. Just notice if you need to go a little further to really get to the inner groins. And then 5-pointed star. Exhale, bend again. This time bring your hands onto your hips. Do a little slide from one leg to another. Nice deep breath. Again, you want to engage your core, make your rib cage in so that you're a nice Lycian line with your spine, head on top of the spine, going all the way back, inhale, come all the way up, turn your foot. So that your feet are now parallel to the short side of the mat. I'm going to exhale and fold into Padottanasana. Just notice if your head is going down, it's a whole different pose. Lift your head up. In fact, bring your hands to the back of your head. This makes it more difficult, but it gets to where it needs to go. You can do soft knees, inner groins stronger, going back. Press your head into your hands into your head, and come parallel to the floor. It's all legs, it's all core. See if you can breathe into the upper part of your back. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Whew, yeah, that's a lot of work. I like that work. Good. So if you have a block, bring your block to the end. You have 2 or 3 positions on the blocks. I'm going to put mine to the second position. Nice deep breath. And exhale and fold again. See if you can feel that core, back of the head connection. Bend strong back, hands onto the block. Now the minute you do this, you kind of lose the power in your legs. See if you can keep the powers in your legs and just gently touch the block. I think you'll know what I mean. Right hand onto your hip. Move the right head of the arm bone up towards the yin again. We're stacking the shoulders on top of one another. Taking a nice deep breath. Good. And then release, come all the way down. Switch your hands, right hand onto the block, left hand onto the hip. Move the left head of the arm bone. You're taking the right thigh, inner groin back. Top of the right thigh goes back, rotate, breathe. It is this stretch that I'm feeling that allows me to breathe go here for you. Could be that you don't need to block at all. You can go all the way down. Whatever it is, just breathe. Let yourself feel the opening, soft knees, inner growing back. I can really work that when I'm just quiet in the upper part of my back, feet connected to the earth, breathing in, and then release, come all the way back, hands onto the block, hands onto the hips, and lift all the way up. So, from here, I want to do, if we were in the studio, everybody would be going to the wall right now. I hope you have a wall that you can work with, but this particular exercise I find is really important for a fall practice. You're going to bring your toes to the wall. We're going to do triangle on the wall, but I really want to open up the hips here. Then you're going to step. Right now I've got my left toes onto the wall, right foot is away, and the right foot is parallel to the short side of the mat, so it's not doing one of these, which opens up the hips. Can you see that? It is parallel to the short side of the mat. I'm using my left foot onto the wall, my left hand is on the wall, and I'm going to move my head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, add my right hand onto the wall. Now here's the thing, both hands need to be powerful, pressing into the wall, and you're going to use that to rotate your torso and take your hip in the opposite direction. So it allows you to have some time of stability here, to press, to engage your back. Take the top of the thigh back. It's really important when it's going forward like this, you're closing your lower back. So you want to press the top of the thigh back so that you can open the lower back. And now that you have an open lower back, you can drop this left hip down a little bit more, this left thigh. And pressing in and breathing. And around here, I can rotate my torso a little more, but I'm doing it through the power of my hands and my belly. Taking the top thigh, right thigh back. Good, then inhale, woo! Come all the way back up, bend into the knee and kind of hop forward and kind of shake that out. I'm gonna do the other side, but for me to do the other side, I'm gonna go backwards to you. Right foot here, left foot back, right hand onto the wall. So it's easy to drop into the left thigh, take the left thigh back. Good. Both legs are straight and you're using your feet to hold the position. Left arm overhead, and I'm pressing open my chest. Good. Dropping my right thigh a little bit more, breathing in. A nice deep breath. Good, then inhale and come all the way back up. Good, all right. So, I wanna do a little bit with Ardha Chandrasana. So you're gonna take your right block onto the right side. Now that we have this big open low back, let's do this Parvottanasana first. You're just going to take your left foot, stretch it back, move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. So when we get into this kind of a practice, it's all about skillfully moving through. So you're going to take your right thigh back, left hip forward. Exhale and come forward. Again, it's that same place of head and belly connection. You're not dropping. You're slowly moving through, getting the right hip to press back. Parvottanasana, you might be able to come onto the floor, maybe onto a block, the block that's there, and move the right right head of the right thigh back, left thigh forward, and breathe through your spine. Nice deep breath. And you might be able to just bow. Good. Then release. Come all the way back up. We're going to do the other side before we go into Ardha Chandrasana. Left foot forward, right foot back. Nice deep breath. It is a balance pose. More importantly, just think about hugging into the midline, doing things, doing the poses with awareness, with skill. Exhale and come forward. The left thigh goes back, right thigh comes forward. So you're holding the lower back even. So it's not doing one of these. You're forward. You're just making it so that you could have a little tea party on your back. Nice flat back. Hands onto the floor. Breathing in. Bring the rib cage in as well. You know, a little teeny bit will help you engage with the strength of your upper back. Then fold into a nice deep breath. Again, right hip forward, left hip back. I'm getting a good stretch. Find a balance between the two, and then inhale and come all the way back up. Shaking that out. All right. So bringing your block, let's see if I can bring it a little bit more into view, in onto the mat. Right leg is forward, left leg is back. So the block should be in a position so that once we are lifting, the block is under your shoulder, under your arm, the hem of the arm bone. So just take a moment to breathe. Good. Tiptoe on your left side for a moment and find a stability on your right leg. Your knee is still soft. Good. And just begin to lift your toes up your left toes off of the mat. I'm going to find my balance here. Then find your block. And this may be where you are. You're going to stack your hips one on top of the other. Good. Let your gaze begin to go. Add the arm up. Ardha Chandrasana. Nice deep breath in any number of those places. And to come out, turn to almost a warrior three, and then slowly begin to bring your left foot onto the floor, and then bring your left foot up to the right, and then shake it out. Good. Other side. Nice deep breath. Let's just come back to Tadasana, the mountain pose, for a moment before we begin the other side, just breathing in. And wherever we are with the pose, you can connect into a place to where your mind is in line with the body and you feel a sense of peace as you're moving from one position to another. You have gained a lot. So just be aware of that. Left foot forward, right foot back. Taking a nice deep breath. Come tippy toes on the right so that you can feel the power in the left and what you need to do to kind of hug that energy in. Then lift your right foot up. Left hand onto the block. Rotate the hips. Good. Rotate the gaze. Spread your toes. Know where your leg is. Right arm reaches. Good. And then slowly begin to turn back. You might find that you have to take a few deep breaths to find your balance. Then slowly bring your right foot onto the floor. Good. Coming all the way back to center. Step your right foot up to meet the left and shake that out. Good. Nice deep breath. All right. So let's come all the way onto the floor. Come into the Baddha Konasana, feet together. Good, let your knees flutter. And again, just let your mind quiet, let your gaze go soft, or close your eyes for a moment, just allowing for this small bouncing of the knees. Good, and then opening the eyes and coming back into the room. Bring your left foot in and your right foot up into your hands. So you're either going to bring both hands to either side of the foot. I want you to press your big toe mound away. I don't want you to make it so that you're looking at your back of your foot. You should be looking at the front of your foot. Fingers behind. You're going to press your knee back behind you. Few of these. Good. And if you want to go to a full baby's cradle, then bringing your foot into your elbow, your left elbow, and then just cradling it. But you can continue doing this as well. It's up to you and where you are with your practice. Either one. This one, you're still going to be looking at the front of your foot, not the back. Just cradling back and forth. Good, with a nice deep breath. Good, then coming all the way back to center. You're going to take both hands onto the leg and stretch your leg straight. Now here, instead of rounding, I want you to grow your spine as well, nice and long. Good. Now take your left hand across onto the right hand onto the floor. Before we do anything with the twist, you're going to inhale, head of the ear bone up toward the ear and back. Maybe even bring your hand back a little bit more, but try not to do this. Try not to settle back. Bring your hand on the floor to just allow for a deeper twist. We're looking for both the alignment, you're hugging in, shins into the center, rotating from that stable base. Good, nice deep breath. Then release and come all the way back. And when coming back, let's come back to the Baddha Konasana. Good, let the knees go out. Lift up through the spine, and then let your knees stop and bring your hands forward. So here, I love to, when we're doing the Kunchasana, the twist, it really opens the back. So I want you to walk your hands and begin to breathe into that opening. You're not going to necessarily go far here. It's about drawing the breath down into that space. Closing your eyes and breathing. And when you're here, you might be able to feel your knees go down a little bit closer. Often when we do things with grace and with the breath, our body opens in miraculous ways. It's not always about pushing, it's about finding that balance of right effort. And then inhale and come all the way back up. So this time, we're bringing our right knee in, and you're going to pick up your left. No two sides are the same. We're going to do this exercise first all together, bringing the knee back behind us. There's all kinds of things that happen that we can do from second level of poses when your hips get this open. So this is good training. It's core work too here. You're using your power of your arms. For those that are going into baby cradle, just go back and forth. You want to see the front of your foot, not the back of your foot. So you don't want to sickle. Sickling your feet means your knee is torqued. So we don't want that. We want to keep everything in alignment. Moving back and forth or pressing the knee back. And I love doing this just to begin to open to where we are going. So let the knee straighten, the nice maybe a little hold down here, wherever it is. Straighten the leg. You don't want the leg to be kind of limpy. Wherever it is, straighten, get your toes to be active, pressing in. If you can get to your toes, what you want to do there is move the arm bone up, let the top of the thigh go down into the earth as you are lifting up through the spine. That really helps the inner groins and the hamstrings open. Keep a soft knee, don't let your knee lock. Soft knee, you want to get to the muscles. Nice deep breath. Now from here, turning, you're going to turn your right hand over. So this is my first cue to begin to line up. I round here first, then I lift. Move the left head of the arm bone. Find the hand onto the floor. This is skillful working of the pose. You're not just flopping into the pose, we're building the pose. Top of the thigh down, belly towards the spine, rotating the torso, breathing in. Find your expression today. Kranchasana. Good. So right hand crosses over to your not the left. There you go. Now you're in it. And cross over to the other side, onto the outside of the foot, not the inside of the foot. Because outside of the foot you can press down your hamstrings, really get a good stretch. That's it. Good. And then release, come all the way back. Come back into the Baddha Konasana. Just take a moment, let your knees flutter. Let both sides of your lower back catch up with one another. Or my body, it needs to catch up with one another, I should say. Belly in, lifting up through the spine. I'm walking my hands. As I'm walking my hands, I'm getting my sits bones to go deeper into the earth. And the deeper I can get my sits bones into the earth, it seems like, and this is grace, it seems like my spine just wants to grow. It just wants to elongate. That's what it feels like when you're allowing grace to be part of your practice. And in fall and winter, we really need a lot of grace. We do. Breathing in. That's where we learn about the grace. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Good. So come over to the side and come back into a table pose. Right leg is straight back behind you. Bend at the knee. We're going to all try to do the quad stretch now. Taking your left hand onto the right foot. You can press your heel towards your hips and then press away as you open up almost into a back bend here. Breathing in. See if it's more available to you now. And then release that, come all the way back to a table. Left leg straightens, bends. The right hand comes around. Move the right head of the arm bone. And again, just breathe into the quad stretch. Nice deep breath. And then release. Release with knees out, toes together, roll back, extended child. And breathe into your back body. I'm sure it needs a little bit of a stretch here, breathing in. Again, making that deep connection. One more deep breath in. And then inhale, come back into the table pose with the right leg coming forward. Good. And then from here, bring your forearms onto the ground. Breathing in. You can use your block if you need to. If you feel like you need to bring the floor up a little higher, just use your block. See if you can find an ease in opening up the hips in this way. resist your knees going way off to the side. Bring it in. Hugging, shins in towards the center. If you want to take this one step further, you can take your left hand to the middle, rotate the torso, bend the knee. We're going to do a deeper quad stretch, moving the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, lifting. You're going to touch the back, the outside of the right foot. John's twist. Nice deep breath. May hear some popping going, I am. And use a tie if you need to, or if the foot is not available for you, stay in this pose, stay in this stretch where we were to begin with. Just options for growth. And then release, come all the way back. We're going to do the other side. Let's go into downward dog first. Fingerprints down back of the palm knuckles. Press back into downward dog and walk the dog. One heel up and one heel down. Breathing in. Nice deep breath. Exhaling out as well. We do more with the exhale. Letting out toxins, moving energy, then come back into the table pose. So set up for the other side with the left leg coming forward, right leg back. I am going to use my block to show you here. You can go to the floor if that works for you. You're going to hug your left knee into your shoulders. Skillful working of the pose. You don't want to just have your hip go off to the side. And you want to breathe. Breathe your way into this. You can stay here. And this is a powerful stretch. Make sure that your right toes are curled and you have good muscle energy on this side. And you're not just dropping your hip down. It has a little bit of give. And if we're going to go to John's twist, we're going to bring the right hand in. You're going to rotate the torso, bend into the knee, the left knee, rotate. And breathe. And again, keep your left knee in towards your chest. Don't let it go off to the side. Skillful asana. Just holding the midline. Then release, come all the way back. Come back into the table pose. Fingerprints down back of the palm, knuckles down. Curl the toes. Up into downward dog. And walk the dog. One heel up and one heel down. You always want to be pressing the top of the thighs back so you get your energy off of your hands and off of your shoulders. Let your head be in line with your spine. Don't let your head go down towards the floor. Head in line with the spine means you're engaging your belly. Otherwise, you're letting your belly just go willy-nilly down to the floor, and you want to have the extension through your spine. Good, nice deep breath. Down dogs is so important. Such a wonderful pose. Then inhale and come all the way back up. Bring your feet together into Uttanasana. Forward or walk your feet in, hands in. Arms swing out to the side as we inhale all the way up. Hands go to pray over your head and then down towards your heart. So we're going to go into a Trikonasana with your left foot forward, right foot back, and your right foot is parallel to the short side of the mat. Now this should feel like what we just did on the wall. I want you to begin to connect what we're feeling. We've done a lot to open up the lower back, engage the belly. So what you want to make sure that you have is the arch and your heel in line. It's very easy for me to disengage my hip. I've got to bring my hip back, then energy down into my foot. So just notice what your tendency is. This is where I drop. My energy kind of pools here. I've got to bring it back so I can bring the energy all the way up to the top of my head. Notice your own tendencies. We're making it so what we want to do is use the power of the alignment to bring more energy into our body. So from here, arms out into a T position. Have as much energy here as here. Make sure your knee isn't locked. And for me, that means my left foot is very active. 4 corners of the feet onto the floors, holding my muscles in place and my knee in place as I rotate. Go hands on your hips. From here, go hands onto your hips. Notice your tendency with the hip. Notice if you are engaging your belly. Let your belly and the energy bring you out to the side so that both sides of the waistline are stretching. And for me to do that, I need to have my right foot really connected to my belly. Hand will automatically find a block as you're holding this. Then bring your right arm all the way down, up and over to find Trikonasana so that you are not taking the head of the arm bone forward and doing funky things like this. Not good for your shoulder, not good for your back, and you're not connected to your foot. Arm up, rotate. Woohoo! From here down, from here to the top of the head. I'm alive. Here we go. Trikonasana, full out. Good. Gas on the pedal. Inhale, come all the way back up. Just bend into the knee. Hands onto your hip. Take your block. Rotate your feet. Trikonasana on steroids. Nice deep breath. Even though Trikonasana is a level 1 pose, it sure can be done in a level 3 way, and that's what we're doing. All right, feet onto the floor, soft knees. It's all about connection. You want to be able to feel your feet, have it connected to your belly, all the way up to the top of your head, arms reach. So begin to feel what we did on the wall in your body. See how you can maintain that level of openness. And as we begin to, again, take the left thigh back, so we begin to rotate towards the right, you're going to bring your hands onto your hips. I want you to just feel your torso elongated and your feet connected to the floor. Head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, and as I'm going down, I'm adjusting the energy that I need into my back leg. Good. Right hand finds the block on the outside of your foot. Keep it high, keep your legs strong, keep your belly engaged. Left arm down, up and over to find the full expression of Trikonasana. Breathing in a nice deep breath. You might be able to take the left thigh back and come down a little further. That's how we find our way to the floor, is stretching both sides and the left leg connected here. We're keeping everything in alignment, and I'm still feeling the thigh back, core, head. Good. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Just bend into the right knee. Good. Heel toe yourself all the way back and shake it out. All right, come onto the floor. All the way onto the floor. Good. Take your block underneath your hip, right onto your sacrum, so that you're on the fleshier, the bonier part of your hips. Bring your knees into your chest. Good. Nice deep breath. I personally love to go to Halasana from here, so I'll show you that. That may not be your personal favorite pose, but we're going to bring your legs straight out. I'm already beginning to pike my legs towards my head. So my hips are coming off of the block a little bit. From here, I'm lifting up and toes down towards the earth. Full Halasana. My toes happen to be grabbing onto the bows, so I can actually let my hands go with a little bit of ease, pressing my feet into the piece of furniture. Breathing in. Oh, it's such a liberating pose. Nice deep breaths and a release. You want to release with skill, right? Hands onto your hips. You're not just going to flop over. You're going to take the thighs back, the inner groins go back, and then slowly find your way back onto the block with feet straight up, parallel to the walls. Breathing in. You're going to take your left leg all the way to the floor, stretching the front of the left leg and the quads. Inhale all the way back up, and right leg stretches. Breathing in and up. Left leg one more time. And inhale up. Right leg. Inhale all the way up and open your legs up. Let me get far enough away from the arc. Let me do that. Open the legs up. You may even be able to bring your hands into the inside of your legs. Toes engaged. You want to make sure that your muscle energy of your leg is engaged. And then stretch the inside. Just press your hands into the inside of the leg. This feels so good after all we've done. With a nice deep breath. Then bring your legs all the way back up again. Let your hands go overhead and just breathe. A nice deep breath right into, again, the heart chakra. Legs straight up. Good. And then one leg down and then the other. Lift up your hips, take the block out. And you're going to come into Shavasana. Just allowing your body to relax, to open. Open yourself up to the changing earth right now. Just past a new moon. Just open yourself up to what is available now. And prepare for that, the change. Feeling the way your body opens, feeling the peace in your mind, through your body, through your breath. Again and again, we come and go, changed, changing, hands joined, unjoined in love and fear, grief and joy. The circles turn, each giving into each, into all. Wendell Berry. small movements to come back into your fingers and back into your toes. Let your knees float from side to side. And then roll to one side as you pause for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape. And then continue that side roll all the way up to a seated pose, bringing your hands in prayer position over your heart. Let's be aware of the changes that are going on in our lives right now and what is important, what is leaving, what is staying. What abides? And together, let's do one Om. So take a breath in. Om. May we have peace in our heart and peace in our mind, and true and everlasting peace and healing on this planet. Namaste. Oh, I thank you all for being here. Thank you for making my day. I hope your body feels good.
Thank you for being here and making our day.
Yeah, good.
Lovely.
I'm always open for questions. Thank you.
Rose, do you have a sculpture this year?
I do. Yes, Maudslay's going up tomorrow. I should say that. Yes, of course. There are 52 artists.
Great.
Yes, and it all goes up tomorrow, and we're so excited about it. There's an app that you can use. There's a QR code that'll connect you right into the app, and that's going to be our catalog this year is the app. It's on until October 12th, I think, or 10th.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up. I forgot.
Yeah.